There is a photograph, faint smile, softened edges, a moment frozen in time, a picture hardly anyone has ever seen. And behind that picture is a story that changed everything for one of television's most beloved couples, Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos. Their love has always felt like a real-life screenplay, full of charm, spark, decades of inside jokes, and an undeniable connection. Nearly 30 years of partnership, and for so many people watching from the outside, they appeared to be the definition of harmony. Morning shows, red carpets, playful teasing, weekend cooking disasters. A couple who built a world together, brick by brick. But every great love story has a turning point. And for Kelly and Mark, it came disguised as an ordinary day, one that quietly became the most defining day of their lives. It began when Mark felt unwell. Nothing dramatic, nothing that screamed danger, just discomfort. Something he brushed off like so many of us do. A busy schedule, a task to finish, a long day. He assumed it was something simple. But the discomfort didn't go away. And suddenly, the man known for his energy and strength felt his breath tighten. His chest felt pressured. Confusion followed. Worry crept in. And the small warning sign he'd brushed aside grew louder. That's when he made a call no partner ever wants to make. Kelly dropped everything, and within minutes, the glamorous world they usually lived in, the lights, the cameras, the cheerful exchanges, disappeared, replaced by the cold brightness of a hospital hallway and the rhythmic beeping of machines. She sat outside the care unit with her heart racing, hands trembling, and one overwhelming fear repeating in her mind. What if I lose him? Mark, the person who laughed with her, traveled with her, built a life with her, was suddenly fragile. And for the first time in many years, Kelly found herself facing the unthinkable. But here's where the story becomes extraordinary. Because even in that hardest moment, something within her steadied. As machines hummed and lights flickered, she began remembering everything that truly mattered. Tiny, normal, beautiful memories. Morning coffees in their first small apartment. Teaching their kids to tie their shoes. Arguing over who finished the ice cream. Laughing until their stomachs hurt. Dancing in the living room for no reason at all. And she realized something that shook her more than fear ever could. They had been living for later. Later they'd take that trip. Later they'd slow down. Later they'd sit and talk without a schedule. Later they'd watch sunsets instead of deadlines. But later had almost slipped away. Right there in the dim glow of the care unit, Kelly made a promise. Quiet, steady, and life-altering. A promise that once spoken aloud would reshape their future. She vowed to be present, not just busy, to protect what mattered, not just perform what looked successful. And most importantly, she vowed that their life would no longer revolve around what they should do, but what they wanted to do together. That promise became the start of a new chapter. When Mark finally recovered, the shift between them was unmistakable. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't loud. It was gentle, deliberate, and real. They began having conversations they'd postponed for years. They laughed more, they rested more. They worked on projects side by side, not because they needed to, but because it made them feel like a team again. Their date nights returned, with chaotic cooking experiments, mismatched outfits, and inside jokes that only two people who have shared a lifetime could understand. And then came their boldest decision yet. They bought a home in Italy. Not a vacation spot, not a once-a-year hideaway, but a real home, thousands of miles from the spotlight. A place filled with warm sunsets, slow mornings, and the scent of fresh bread drifting through open windows. A place connected to the early days of their romance long before fame rearranged their lives. People were stunned, headlines spun, social media buzzed, but Kelly and Mark knew exactly why they did it. Italy represented something precious, their beginning, a time when everything felt simple and full of possibility. And now it represented their second beginning, a chance to live intentionally. Their Italian villa wasn't about leaving Hollywood, it was about choosing something deeper. Peace, joy, connection, slower days, longer conversations, food that wasn't rushed, walks that didn't have a purpose, doing nothing together and loving it. Now, don't get the wrong idea. Their life didn't suddenly become picture perfect. There were hard days, awkward adjustments, and moments of frustration. Even the most loving couples have days where one person wants pasta and the other person wants pizza, and suddenly the universe is at war. But they discovered something important. Love doesn't stay magic on its own. Love stays magic when you protect it, when you rebuild it, when you choose it every single day. What they experienced wasn't a crisis, it was a wake-up call, a message to stop living on autopilot, a reminder that success means nothing without meaning, and a realization that true partnership isn't found just in glamorous moments, but in showing up for each other when life gets complicated. Their journey offers a message for everyone watching. You don't have to wait for a scary moment to appreciate the person beside you. You don't need a dramatic turning point to begin living the life you actually want. You don't need to be perfect to be deeply loved. Kelly and Mark rebuilt their marriage not because it was broken, but because it deserved attention, intention, and joy. And that's what makes their stories so powerful. They didn't cling to the past. They didn't fear the future. They chose the present. So the next time you see Kelly and Mark smiling, laughing, or glowing in a way that feels different, now you know the truth. That glow isn't luck. It's not a fairy tale. It's the result of choosing each other through storms, through change, through uncertainty, and through the quiet rebuilding that follows. Their story reminds us that it's never too late to start a new chapter, never too late to reconnect, never too late to fall back in love with your own life, and never too late to say, this time we choose what truly matters. If you enjoyed this story and want more beautifully crafted narratives, go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button, and share your thoughts down below. Your support helps us bring more stories like this to life.